Hey everybody, Ashton here with Gen Sense. Today I'm coming at you with the new haul video. This is not everything that I've picked up since my last haul video. It's actually been a really long time. I might try to make this like a monthly thing, where every month I come out with a haul video and show everything that I've picked up over that last 30 days or so. And in case you're watching this and you haven't seen it, I just put up a giveaway video. I'm giving away a gift set for 1821 man-made sweet tobacco spirits, including a 100 milliliter bottle. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out that video. There are a lot of fragrances here, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, otherwise this is going to be a super long video. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. First up, I've got a 100 ml bottle of Acqua di Bergamotto by Zegna. Now I actually have a 50 ml bottle of this, but this was on FragranceNet for really cheap, so I added it to one of my orders. Now I've got a backup 100 ml bottle of it. This actually made my top 10 spring list. It's a really nice bergamot fragrance. Bergamot's one of my favorite notes in summer and spring perfumery, so I had to scoop it up. The main note there is obviously bergamot. There's also aquatic notes, more citrus notes, and floral notes. They don't really go into too much detail there other than just saying what type of notes they have in the fragrance. Regardless, it's a really nice spring and summer fragrance, and if you like bergamot, you should check it out, especially when you can pick it up on the cheap. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out of the way too. This is Azzaro Solarissimo Levanzo. This was actually in my top 5 most worn fragrances list for September. I picked this up from TJ Maxx for $25. Now, like I said in that video, I'm going to do a full review on this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will let you know that the opening on that is really nice to my nose. There's passion fruit, there's tea, there's lavender. You don't see passion fruit very often, and tea honestly is underutilized, so it's got an interesting note breakdown. But we'll go into more detail on that at a future time. Next on this haul video, Atelier Cologne Mistral Patchouli. And this is how I try to buy most of my Ateliers, the really big 200 ml bottle. You can also pick this up in a 100 ml bottle or a 30 ml bottle. If you're buying it just for yourself, a 30 ml bottle will do, and you can pick those up on eBay for really cheap. And honestly, eBay is just about the best place to buy Atelier Cologne. You can find some good deals on FragranceNet for them, but most of the time, my best deals have been found on eBay. I can get a 200 ml bottle for a number of their fragrances for under $100, as long as I keep looking and check every few days. Let alone 30 mils, you can pick those up really cheap. Well, comparatively speaking to what you would expect to pay for an Atelier Cologne fragrance retail. This has got patchouli in it, obviously. It's got star anise, geranium, and iris as well, so that's kind of an interesting breakdown as far as patchouli fragrances go. I haven't really given it too many wearings at this point, so I can't go into too much detail, but Atelier Colognes in general are really easy to wear fragrances, and their performance is usually not so great, unless you're talking about some of their darker, thicker fragrances like gold leather or tobacco nuit. So here's one that I got in about a week ago. I'm actually giving it its first wearing today. That fragrance is Hugo Boss The Scent Intense. Now, the original Hugo Boss The Scent didn't really get very much love. I actually reviewed it months and months ago, back toward the beginning of my channel. And I said that it was basically not very impressive, but not altogether terrible. Just really kind of bland. I just actually opened the box and sprayed this on like 2 hours ago, so I'm not ready to pass judgment yet. It has notes of Maninka, which I think the only fragrances that use that are the Scent and the Scent Intense, and vanilla and leather, among others. If you're interested in seeing a review on this one, just let me know and I'll go ahead and get one ready for everybody. I picked it up because I'd seen some vastly different views on the fragrance. Some people said that it's terrible, that it's trash, that it's just as bad as the original, if not worse. And then some people say that it's actually a great improvement over the original, so I wanted to see for myself. Up next, Maison Francis Kurkdjian Aqua Celestia. This is one of Maison Francis Kurkdjian's newest releases. It's obviously a summer release, hence the name Aqua Celestia. There's black currant, lime, mint, and musk, among other notes. Literally got that in the mail today, so I haven't been able to give it a proper wearing, obviously. I can't really speak to it too much. I gave it a spray. It smells nice enough. I'll do a review on that sometime in the future. La Fin du Monde by Eldo. I'm not going to try pronouncing it because every time I do, I screw it up. It's right there. So this translates to
the end of the world.
It's got funky notes in there. There's iris, popcorn, gunpowder, and other notes. And you would probably think that it's completely unwearable, but honestly, when you spray it, it's not that bad. You can pull this off, you can legitimately wear it. It's a little bit sweet even, and slightly powdery. It's actually nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually kind of nice. 212 Men Aqua by Carolina Herrera. Talked about this one a bit now. This was on my most worn in September list. Actually, this was also in my festival video. I'm gonna put that out sometime in the future. Took that down because of what happened in Vegas. But yeah, it's a clean, simple, linear, aquatic ambroxan fresh scent with a little bit of the 212 Men DNA in the base. Up next, I've got a discontinued one for you. Jesus del Pozo Quasar. I really do like this bottle. It's very unique, but it is a little bit plasticky. So this has banana leaf, banana, fruits, rosemary, lavender, sage, geranium, bunch of other notes. When you first spray it on, it's almost a little bit aftershavey. This did come out in '94. It doesn't smell totally dated, but it's not something that smells altogether modern either. It's probably a fragrance that people that are 30 years or older would like the most. Now it's a little bit ozonic and green. You can smell that banana, the banana leaf, but it's not as strong as you would think, because like when you eat a banana or you put a banana in something like a shake, all you can taste is the banana. And that's not the case here. It's actually pretty well done. Now where it is discontinued, it's pretty hard to find for a decent deal now. A lot of times you're looking at $80 plus for a bottle, so it's not something that you can pick up on the cheap. Nevertheless, I do like having this in my collection. I also have Adventure Quasar, so I have both of the Quasars now. Adventure Quasar looks like this, only green instead of this kind of neon blue. Up next is a little guy, Jeroboam Origino. So this only comes in a 30 ml Extrait de Parfum size, and I actually kind of bought this on accident. FragranceNet had this listed as Nasomatto Origino. Now, I'm fully aware that Nasomatto does not have a fragrance named Origino, but what I thought was maybe FragranceNet had mislisted one of the other Nasomatto fragrances. So I was kind of buying it, hoping that I got just a random Nasomatto. The reason I bought it was because it was around $60. Obviously, if they had sent me a Nasomatto, that would have been a sick deal. But they actually got the fragrance name correct and the house name incorrect, unfortunately. But this fragrance is actually pretty good. It has sandalwood, nutmeg, juniper, and musk among other notes, and the sandalwood is actually really nice. The dry down on this is quite good, and I like the opening as well. I doubt that I'll ever review it because honestly I don't think anybody would really care because nobody really knows that house all that much, but it's not a bad fragrance, and for the price I paid, I'm happy. So here's a pretty good one. Memo Italian Leather. I'm actually a really big fan of the Memo leather series. So that's African leather, Italian leather, Irish leather, French leather, and Russian leather. The only one I don't have at this point is French leather. I saw this for a good price online, so I had to scoop it up. The thing that it's most well known for, other than the leather note, which is kind of obvious because its name is Italian leather, is tomato leaf. Now, tomato leaf can completely overpower and destroy a composition if not used correctly, but in this fragrance, it's really well done. It dries down to a sweet vanillic kind of leather. Overall, it's not my favorite from the Memo leather line. That's African leather. But this would be second, possibly third. I'd have to sit down and think about it. But it's a really nice release. And I know some people don't like these bottles, but personally, I really, really dig them. Invictus Intense. So this one, obviously, I waited for a while until it was cheaper and then went ahead and picked it up. There's amber, sea salt, whiskey, and ambergris, among other notes. The fragrance that it most closely resembles is Invictus. Not really a huge surprise. It is a bit darker, maybe slightly more mature than Invictus. I'll probably do a review on that one in the future. I've said that a lot, but it's on my agenda. Michael Kors Extreme Night. Just a word of advice here. Do not try to pick this up by the cap because you will drop it 100 out of 100 times. The cap does not fit snugly. So I kept seeing this on FragranceNet over and over for $27 for this size bottle. And I would place the order and then FragranceNet would say, oh, it was actually sold out, sorry. And they would cancel my order. That happened 3 times, and then finally the last time, they actually sent it to me. Now, I'll tell you, the first time I smelled this, I was not impressed. I thought that it was kind of generic, kind of falls in line with a lot of recent releases. Not necessarily the same as Eros, but right in the line of things like that, where it's very tonka heavy and just ended up smelling kind of generic. Now, the more I've smelled it, the more I have grown to appreciate it. I still don't think it's hyper unique, but it's something that I'll probably revisit a bit this fall and winter and see what I can really make of it. Next up, we have Montale, Nepal, Aoud. Now, if you've been looking for discounted Montales, it's been a really good couple of months. FragranceNet has actually had lots and lots of Montales discounted for around $55 to $65 for a 100 ml bottle for pretty much almost the entire range. We're talking, I think they've had 85 to 90 Montales listed. This is not the only one I've picked up, but it's the one that I'm going to spotlight here. This has oud, amber, leather, musk, saffron, and rose, among other notes. So what you're gonna get here is a nice, softer oud and leather combination. There's rose, which is very, very commonly used with oud, along with the saffron. It dries down to a slightly sweet type of fragrance with that musk coming in to wrap everything up. It's a really nice wearable oud. I'm not gonna say that it's Montale's best oud because it's not, but really 80% of Montale fragrances are based off of oud, and this is, in my opinion, one of the better ones. All right, here comes the last fragrance for this haul. I know it's been kind of overkill. Mancera Aoud Line. Lemon Line is probably the best known of the Line series of Mancera fragrances, but Aoud Line is good in its own right. It's a raspberry oud combo with rose, teakwood, and amber. So it's a little more wearable than a lot of other ouds that you'll see put out by Mancera and Montale. Some of them can get really screechy. You don't have that here. Performance is really good with this one. You're gonna get a lot of longevity, a lot of sillage, so it's something you're gonna wanna wear in cooler weather, and it's probably better suited for night than it is day. So basically what I'm saying is go easy on the trigger and don't wear it in the heat. All right, guys, that is it for this haul. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate all your support. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.